And we're live. Hello. How are we? Okay. Sorry. I was hoping to be more prepared, but got distracted. Alrighty. Let's pull up the comments and see who is here. Devin is here. Hello. And Melanie. And Nikki. Melanie, just rediscovered the chat pop-out option, which works because I'm actually watching the stream on the TV. But typing on a laptop, I need a break from the desk. Totally get that. That's why I was in the living room yesterday or last night. But I got distracted by Hallmark. So, did I get much done yesterday for writing? No, I did not. Micah, hello, beautiful people. I'm currently cooking dinner, grilled cheese, since it's been raining all day. Nice. I made some chicken wraps and like a mac and cheese side. Hubby's on the couch next to me too, but he has the headphones on doing his Duolingo stuff. I still haven't done Duolingo since I downloaded it. Oops. Yeah. So, I'm starting off tonight with a mango margarita. I'm trying these new claw tails. They're juicier than I had expected. Which, I mean, so what? Join us. LOL, I actually have been on a 2-week streak with my Spanish lessons. Nice. I haven't touched it since I downloaded it and did like the first lesson, and then got mad when it kept like yelling at me. Welcome back. It's so good to see you again. I don't feel like doing you right now though. All right, so today I need to get some writing in. Ironically, for the Wordy Writer challenge, which is to hit 50,000 words in April and May, I'm technically still on track. Like yesterday with my measly 42 words, I was still 25 words ahead of schedule, which means today I'm like basically on track. And I just need to get like the minimum. That's for the Wordy Writer challenge. That is different than what I need for Project Cedar Hollow. Project Cedar Hollow, I believe I need like 2,600 words today. Let's see. Just continue. Okay, let me put this over here. And let's bring this back up. Let's see. Pacemaker has me at needing... I have to add my measly 42 words yesterday. 33697 and save. Okay, so I still have, so Pacemaker, I changed my goal to be, or my deadline to be April 20th, because that gives me that entire weekend then. And if I stick with that, then I need 2,400 words today. Technically 2,408. If I stick with an 18, with the 18th as my deadline, then I need 2,800. So we need roughly 2,400 because I'll probably give myself that entire weekend unless I have like a really, really great writing day this weekend. We'll see. I think I've got all my books loaded onto my Kobo. Awesome. How are you liking the Kobo? I don't like their app on their mobile, so I don't really use Kobo very often, if at all, because I don't like the app. And I can't justify buying a whole new e-reader when I just got a brand new paperweight for Christmas. So I'm kind of shit out of luck on that. And I don't technically even read anything on my phone anyways because it hurts my eyes. That's why I prefer the e-readers. The Kickstarter is going pretty good. Yay! I'm so happy for you, Devin. It is so great to hear that. Melanie, I haven't touched Project Messenger since the 2nd. Whoops. So yeah, happy for the earlier stream again this evening. Might have to make a cup of coffee. Ooh, I might join you. I will definitely be getting tea in a little bit. I'm just going to finish my margarita first. See, I didn't like the actual interface itself. Like the way that everything was set up. Granted, I haven't touched it since like September of probably last year, I think is when I was trying it out. Because I remember trying it out when I was away for the weekend for 4-Wheel Jamboree last year. And I hated the way that the app was designed. But I don't read anything on my phone. Like ever. No ebooks I read on my phone. I go straight to my e-reader. I'll go on like the Kindle app to pick out like my next read and I'll like read like the blurbs. But everything, all the reading is actually done on my e-reader because that reads like reading a piece of paper. I am glad that your Kickstarter is doing so well though. Yay. That makes me happy for you. All right. This first sprint, I'm going to finish getting things set up and dive into writing because I need to get all the words. What's done? Nothing. Nothing's done. They're baking me a cake for my birthday tomorrow. They're super cute. They're lucky they're cute. Reading on the phone is hard. I will read on my phone if I don't bring my purse with me to appointments. Yeah, I think I've done that once or twice. Like when I was beta reading for Alex's first book, I had put that on my phone because we were super busy and we were at like a baseball game and everything. So I was just reading, on the downtime. But that was like through Microsoft Word. So like I kind of couldn't get away from reading on the phone for that. But like if it's a finished book that, is purchasable, e-reader or physical copy all the way. They are cute. They're lucky they're cute. Yes. Over the weekend, Amelia made me pick out like a box for a box mix for some cake. And I was like, are you going to make me make my own birthday cake? And she's like, no, I'm going to make it. So she's actually, Joe and Polly did that a little bit ago. And apparently it just got out of the oven. I can smell it. It smells amazing. I can't read on my phone, but I can on my Kindle, which I really don't do well with either. The Kindle is different than the phone screen. The screens itself are different. Reading on the e-reader Kindle is literally like reading a piece of paper. It's designed that way, as to where reading on the phone, it's completely different because it's a different type of screen. I'm weird. I don't really read on the computer unless I'm doing edits or for someone. Yeah. Oh, and I also finally signed up for TrackBear. Let's see how this goes. Nice. I love that TrackBear is free. Okay, let's go ahead and start this first sprint. So bear with me. I'm still trying to get used to EVMux or EVMux, however it's pronounced. Okay, I will see you guys back in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting. Okay, and that was that first sprint. How did we do? I was able to get 445 words. And I also took out my contacts because they were bugging the crap out of me. And I am at 34,000 total words for this draft. That's exciting. Okay. And let's get to the comment. Oh, wait. Let's turn on the break. Okay, now the comments. She was shivering from the cold. She smelled overriding much. I feel like we all do that. All right. Good night. Love you.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Go to sleep.
All right. Good night.
I want to do cheerleading.
Good night.
I never get to do cheerleading. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
Good night. Love you. Kiss me when you're up, okay?
Okay. I made a read and order list for an e-series I picked up on discount. Nice. I edited a couple of sentences from my last session, made coffee, and gave the cats treats because they deserve them. Absolutely. Thank you. It feels good. She's lucky she's cute. She's very lucky she's cute. Alice, hello. I joined a bit late, but in the 5 minutes I was on a roll editing the mess I wrote. Half asleep last night. Awesome.
You know where Puppy and Biscuit are?
Up in my room. You left them up in my room. Love you.
Love you.
Awesome. And Alice, you're basically right on time. That was our first sprint of the night. Yes, it's great to see all of you guys back. I think during the next sprint I'll be making some tea because I'm almost done with my margarita. Oh, nice. Devin put a link in there in the chat for a bundle of 10 ebooks for $30 if anyone is interested. School of Charm series. It's Victorian romance. Ooh. Nice. I haven't read a historical romance in so long. So long. Also, ignore the hair. The ponytail was bugging my neck, and the messy bun is not the cutest. It's special. I've always wanted to write a historical romance, but I don't know if I would be able to because of like the language barrier, because the language back then was so different than what we're used to now. So I don't know if I would ever be able to write a historical romance. I'm going to have to go soon. It's almost 9 and I have to be up at 5 a.m. Night all and happy sprinting. Thanks for joining us for a little bit, Devin. It's always great seeing you. Yes, have a great night. I'm still reading The Innkeeper's Daughter, and it's more of a mystery, but there are elements of romance thrown in as well. It's very charming despite the horrible things the female protagonist has to endure. Interesting. The Innkeeper's Daughter. I feel like I've heard... Is that by Bianca M. Schwartz? The title sounds familiar. The cover does not look familiar at all. So I might be thinking of something else. Goodreads is saying that it's Regency. So Regency, I think, is right before the Victorian era, if I remember correctly. But it is historical. Romance is still a fairly new genre for me, lol, but I definitely prefer historical romance over contemporary. Not sure why. I have my moods. Like, usually in the winter, I'm reading a boatload of historical romances, but that wasn't the case this winter. I don't know why. And then usually I'll read like contemporary all year round, but I'll like break it up with fantasy romance in the mix. But I've pretty much been on like a contemporary kick for a while. And I don't know if that's just because I've been sticking with Project Cedar Hollow, which is contemporary romance, and usually my reading habits are pretty consistent with my writing habits. Like when I'm writing the fantasy romance, I'm reading a lot more fantasy romance at the time, because I'm one of those people where I need to like constantly intake creativity to output the creativity. Thank you for input being my number one Clifton strength. But yeah. What is the last historical romance that I read? I'm currently reading Elsie Silver, because you can't go wrong with Elsie Silver, but she's contemporary romance. I just have to like re-sign into my Goodreads apparently. Okay. I don't think I've read one this year. Oh, no, I did. The last one I read was The Heiress Gets a Duke by Harper St. George, which is not Regency, and it's not... I don't think it's Victorian. It's Gilded Age. When was the Gilded Age? I think the Gilded Age was right after the Victorian era. When were the different historical eras? Let's see. Was the Victorian era and the Gilded Age the same time period? Okay, so the Gilded Age is specifically American, and that was from the 1870s through the 1890s, which lines up with the later portion of the Victorian era in Britain. There you go. Did some research for us. Makes sense. I'm a mood reader as well. Thanks, ADHD. It's wonderful. So wonderful. JK, hello. How are you and what you're working on? I am currently working on draft 2 of Project Cedar Hollow. I am 34,000 words total. And I think I am approaching the midpoint soon. I think. If anyone's looking for a time travel romance series set in medieval Wales, I just got through the After Climmery or Silmary series prequel, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. All right, let me look that up real quick. The After Renegades in Time. Interesting. So, I'm a sucker for time travel, specifically like time travel romance type of things. There was this time travel series that I read when I was a kid, and oh my gosh, it's gonna bug me that I don't remember what it's called. Young adult time travel books. If I saw the cover, which I'm sure it probably has a different cover now, because when I read it, it was so long ago. I think I was in high school. So from the early 2000s. Was it Caroline B. Cooney? That is sounding familiar. Hold on. Sorry. I'm on a mission. Caroline B. Cooney, because that author name, yes, it was. And the series was called Time Travelers. I was obsessed with this series. It came out in 1996. So maybe I read it earlier than that. Maybe I read it earlier than the early 2000s. Actually, that tracks, because I feel like I read it in middle school now that I'm thinking of it. Let's see. It's circling, sorry. That sounds awesome, Alice. And working on Project Messengers, very, very loose outline. It was so good. Nice. I'm gonna have to put that on my TBR. I'm working on a Tangle, still working out if having an empire and a kingdom both on the verge of collapse is too much for one series. I don't think so. There were 4 books in this series. I forgot. I read a lot of Caroline B. Cooney's. Oh yeah, she was the one who wrote The Face on the Milk Carton and Whatever Happened to Janie. Has anyone else read any of these books? Let's see. The first book in this Time Travelers young adult series that I read was called Both Sides of Time. And that one was written in 1995. But it was like a girl who was like in, the modern times, and I don't remember if she was like reading a diary or something, but she somehow went back in time to like the 1800s, and that's really all I remember, but I was obsessed with it when I was little. I've heard of The Face on the Milk Carton, and I've heard of the author's name before, but I haven't read any of her works. Yeah, I read this Time Travelers series, and then I read the Janie Johnson, at least the first 2 books in that series, which was The Face on the Milk Carton, which was written the year I was born in 1990, and Whatever Happened to Janie, which was book 2 in that. Yeah, that's the very first sentence in the Both Sides of Time. Imagine changing centuries and making things worse, not better, on both sides of time. Super intriguing. I remember loving it. I think that was like the first series I like binged, because I remember reading the first book and like needing to go to the library to get the next book right away. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get this next sprint started before we just go on a book talking tangent, which is great, but I need words. All right, I will see you guys back in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting! Okay, and that was that sprint. How did we do? I have to do the math, but let me put on the break timer and get the math done, and then I will get to the comments. So let me know how you did. Ooh, I got a decent amount. I got 791 words. Damn. I'm almost at 35,000 total words. That's awesome. That was a great sprint. Okay, and comments. Jenny, hello. Hey everyone. How's it been? How's it going tonight? Been a long day, but hoping to squeeze in a little more work before I call it a night. How many sprints are left? That was honestly the second sprint. So we probably have definitely 2 more, maybe 3. Jenny! 370 words and start my Duolingo lesson for the day. Good job. Still am not touching Duolingo right now. I'll forget about it again. Oh man. And those words helped me finish the scene I was working on last week. Yes, I love that. No, you want, I'll remind you. For real, though. Worked on a riverine culture shared by many kingdoms for my fantasy series. Nice. Oh. I just noticed that you guys can't see my candle. It's because it's a different size. Here we go. To be honest, I might finish my lesson in the next sprint, then switch to reading. I only got 5 hours of sleep last night and have been up since a little before 6. Totally understandable. You don't have to do writing here. You can just hang out if you want. Not my usual hour of rising up for the day. Totally get it. Nikki has been doom scrolling. It happens. I feel like a lot of us doom scroll. And yeah, I know how things are here, around here. It's cozy. I like to keep it cozy. I definitely like to keep it cozy. Cozy vibes are the best. Nice job finishing up your scene, Mel. Yes. I did not go make tea. I'm going to have to do that. Oh, man. Let's see. I'm already at 1,236 words for the day. I can possibly get my daily word count in the next 2 sprints. It's quite possible. Question for the chat, for whoever wants to answer. Your favorite book is your favorite because why? That's a trick question. I don't know if I have just one all-time favorite book. I could possibly tell you my faves in specific genres. So, like, my favorite classic is probably Pride and Prejudice, because I think that was like my first. It wasn't my first classic book that I read, but it was the first classic that I like wanted to read all of their work. And like, it's the classic that I actually collect a whole lot of different copies of. I will say I really, really enjoyed To Kill a Mockingbird when I read that in high school for class. And I really, really liked The Great Gatsby in high school as well. Why? I don't know if I could tell. But I remember enjoying both of those books. Favorite books. This is such a hard question. All-time fave? I don't know if I have an all-time fave. Melanie. I love Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. It's the first book in her paranormal romance series, The Black Dagger Brotherhood, and it's the story that inspired me to write professionally. Nice! I love that. Mine would be my favorite because it made me cry multiple times, both happy and sad tears, and because I wrote it. Oh, I love that. That is a great answer. Other than that, one of my favorites is in that category because it really made me think of how I was living my own life. Gave a lot of food for thought. Awesome. Yeah. I have a soft spot for Little Women, but that's mainly because the copy that I have was from my dad, and he wrote in the inside, and it's like one of the only things I really have from him. And so that one is near and dear to my heart. As for everything else, I really don't know. I have a lot of favorites. I also love Two Ways by Jodi, of how she masterfully blends different topics that wouldn't seemingly together, like ancient Egypt and quantum physics and family dynamics. I have a lot of Jodi Picoult's books. They're over there somewhere, I think. Or are they over here? I think they're over there. I remember reading My Sister's Keeper during a baseball tournament weekend that my brother had in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And I read it all in that weekend, and we were on our way home, and this was before I started getting car sick from, reading in the car. And I was finishing the book, and I was bawling my eyes out. Bawling. I remember really liking the book, but it definitely made me cry. Jodi Picoult has a lot of books that touch on controversial topics. So if you like that kind of stuff, you would probably like her stuff. Has anyone used the manuscript analysis feature on Pro Writing Aid? I have not yet. I haven't actually used Pro Writing Aid in a while. And I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. It's actually a short story collection, but it really got me loving the horror genre, but not blood and gore horror, the psychological kind. Nice. The movie is hardly even comparable to the story itself. Oh, the movie I hate. I hated the movie because they changed the ending. Hated it. Love it. I love short story collections, especially in the summer. I don't know if I read them too often. Like, I have like all of Edgar Allan Poe's works. He's another fave. Yeah, so often the movie doesn't compare. I've never used Pro Writing Aid, but I know a lot of authors like it. I might have to give it a try. I do like it. I just haven't used it in a long time. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get this next sprint started. I'm going to go make some tea, or at least get the pot started. All right. I will see you guys back in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting. Okay, and that was that sprint. How did we do? I did not do as well during that sprint. I was distracted. I've also hit the mark where I have no old words to rewrite and transfer over. Everything that I write from here on out is going to be brand new, fresh words. That's a little daunting. So I didn't get very much in. I do need to do a little bit of brainstorming, but I was able to get 192 words in like maybe 5 minutes. I am officially over the 35,000 word mark. Yeah. Okay. And to the comments. One of the exceptions to that rule, in my opinion, is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I can't think of the author's name. Was that Stephen Chbosky or something like that? But he also wrote and directed the film adaptation. I loved it so much more, actually. Nice. I remember reading the book. I don't know if I ever watched the movie, though. Oh, wait, is the chat still working even though I closed my actual YouTube browser? Is it? That's awesome. All right, y'all, I finished my lesson, and I think I'm going to try and get to bed early tonight. Thanks again for streaming stuff. Happy sprinting, friends. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a good night. Hopefully you can get some sleep. I think I'm only going to do one more sprint because I'm starting to feel like crashing. I technically need like another 800 to 900 words for my daily goal. But I don't know if that's going to happen because I gotta brainstorm a little bit. I gotta figure out what's happening in the next few scenes because this entire time I had an idea of where I was going, and now I'm at the point where I wrote those and I don't know where I'm going again. So I gotta brainstorm a little bit. Maybe rework my outline. I also went to go put the water on the kettle, and I'm pretty sure it was ready 10 minutes ago. Oh well. That was a great sprint despite many distractions. Distractions are the story of my life. I feel this. I feel like I get distracted so often and so easily by anything and anyone. Yes, good night, Melanie. I'm glad it was a good sprint for you, though. Let's see. Green. All right. Not even kidding you when I say once my book is printed, I'm going to buy myself a trophy that says Queen of Working Through Distractions. I've earned it. Give it a try. Yes. My husband thought I was kidding when I first said that, but I'm absolutely not kidding. No, that's a great thing to do, for sure. Let's see. No, we went back to it being fall. Every time the distractions make me want to give up on whatever I'm trying to accomplish, I will look at it and be reminded of who the fuck I am. Absolutely. That's amazing, Jenny. It's such a great mindset to have. Sorry. Wrote that. Wrote. Yes. I really have to redo this outline. This outline, I think, is in desperate need of a revamping. Wrote. Kind of wrote. What a reward and a reminder. Wrote that. Do we have this? Wrote. Kind of. Not an almost kiss. It is kiss. And okay. I need to write this. Sorry, I'm just utilizing the break with figuring out what scenes I've written and which ones I still need to write. Did not write that. I'm really close to the midpoint though, guys. All right. I think this is going to be the last sprint of the evening because I don't think I can do much more. Of course, I could change my mind, but we'll see. Let's see. We'll put potentially the last, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the last. Alrighty. I will see you guys back in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting. Okay, and that was that sprint. How did we do? I did not get any writing in. I am currently going through my outline and seeing what I need to work on, what I need to take out, what I need to switch around, because my original outline, the midpoint feels more like the climax, so I have to switch things around. I also had to go get my wrist brace because my wrist is throbbing. Thank you, pre-carpal tunnel. So that's been not fun because I can't type as fast. But yeah, that was the last sprint for this stream. I think I'm going to be here tomorrow evening for a birthday writing stream. I don't know if we're going out to dinner or not. But if we don't, I will be here for a birthday live stream. And I'll celebrate my 35th with y'all. If we do go out to dinner, then I probably won't be back live streaming until Sunday. But let's see. Hayden joined us for that last sprint. Hello. Just getting in, going to try to work on some poetry. Awesome. Poetry sounds lovely. I haven't written any in years. Might be nice to get back into it. I don't think I've written poetry since my high school days, to be perfectly honest. Maybe college. Kate joined us during that last sprint. Hello. I'm going over my outline. Had no new words, just looking at the outline. Same here. Finished one poem draft. Awesome. 35th. Yeah. 35th. I was hoping to have my manuscript done today, but I had to push it due to personal issues. So now I have 12 days until my next arbitrary writing deadline. I finally have a name for this culture. Yes! That's awesome. I even have a more formal name that's used generally in academia. Awesome. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. Yes, nice job, Alice. But yeah, so I'm going to try and be here tomorrow. As long as we don't go out to dinner. I don't know if we're doing dinner tomorrow night or if we're going to push it to the weekend. So it all depends on that, but I'll find that out tomorrow. I feel bad that there's 15 of you guys here now. There weren't that many earlier. I think even just before this sprint, I don't think there was that many. I feel bad for leaving now. Everyone did do great. Boogie Monster is streaming now for anyone who still has work to do. Ah, thank you. That makes me feel so much better that there is somebody else streaming that you guys can go to. Let me see if I can find a link for them. And I'll put it in the chat. Boogie Monster. Oh, and there's a cute dragon. Oh, that's adorable. All right, I'm going to post the link in the chat. They are currently streaming right now. I don't know how long they'll be there because it looks like they started about 2 hours ago. But there is that. And let's see. Have a good night, Jenny. Thank you. Aw, you guys are the sweetest. I hope you guys have a great night, and hopefully I'll see some of you guys tomorrow, and maybe we can just have like a fun little celebration. But I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna go skedaddle. Gonna go probably play Dreamlight Valley before I head up to bed. So I'll see you guys around, and as always, happy writing.